Welcome to Week 9, Section 1, Swyk 1. I want to talk to you about a term called direct variation. And this term, direct variation, really refers to the connection between two variables. In a lot of our story problems, it basically boils down to this. As x goes up, y goes up. The opposite would be true as well. As x goes down, y goes down. So the formula looks, or the basic shape of the formula looks like this, which, as you can tell, this particular direct variation is a linear function. That's not the only type of direct variation that's out there. I mean, we could talk about y being directly related to x squared. Okay? But if you just say to me, y is directly related to x, this is what you're getting. It looks like a line that goes through the origin. And obviously the constant of variation is much like the slope. Now when you get into something like this, k is not a slope, but it is a constant of variation. And you can see how I misspelled the word constant to try to help you remember. Now, another version of y equals kx is this one over here. It's solved for k. K equals y over x. Now, sometimes kids get those things confused, but all you're doing is solving it for k. For instance, well, we'll get to that in a second. I hope I don't yawn a bunch because I'm tired. Identify the constant of variation. Yes, the k value. Well, that's pretty easy. When it's set up like y equals kx, it's 3 over 8. Nothing more complicated than that, or about that. Well, what if it's not solved for y? Then you have to solve it for y. That's right, folks. So you would add the 7x as we see in this picture, and then you would divide by 6. You would get y equals 7 6, and ding, 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 the k value is 7 6. So, not too hard. Now, what if I get a table of values and you ask me to tell you whether it is directly related to x? Now, remember I altered the version of y equals kx, right? Y equals kx, and I said, hey, what if we solve that for k and we got something like this? Now's a good time to use that version of it. So, if you look at what I have on screen here, you can see that as the x values are getting bigger, and that's, now I know it's a tad bit confusing because the arrow goes down, but I'm saying that these are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. These are also getting bigger. So that's a good clue that it might be directly related. It's not a guarantee. Okay? They don't have to fit a direct variation exactly. But we'll see if they do. If you take the y value, which is in this case 8, and divide by the x value, which is 32, you get 1 over 4. And if you just keep going down the xy coordinates, 12 over 48, 20 over 80, you get 1 over 4 every single time. So the answer to the question, is it direct variation, is definitely yes. Now, that leads me to the k value being 1/4, and the equation being y equals 1/4 x. It's pretty straightforward. If it is direct variation, then you automatically know the k value. And they'll ask you these questions. Is it direct variation? What's the k value? What's the function rule? When they say function rule, obviously they just mean the direct variation equation. All you have to do is put 1/4 x in the box because they already got the y equals. There is another question like this coming in the future where they force you to put the y equals. Pay attention to whether they have the y equals or not, so you don't, frustrate yourself because you might put y equals in the box and the Math Excel counts you wrong. That would definitely be one of those you would want to email me about on a test question, so that I could get that corrected for you. Very simple mistake. Okay, moving on. Question 4. Another table. So you can see as the x values are getting bigger, so are the y values. They're going in the same direction. Not a guarantee that it's directly related, but it's an idea that it might be directly related. Definitely not inversely related, which we'll talk about later. Now, if I do my y over x, my 8 over 2. Sorry, I'm hiding my yawn. I get 4, and then if I do 14 over 4, I get 3.5. They are not equal to each other. That's a definite no. They are not directly related. Close, but not directly related. Okay, so the answer to that is no. Therefore, you can't come up with an equation. Don't waste your time. Question 5. Another table. So, I can see that as the x values are getting bigger, as the x values are getting bigger, so are the y values. Possible direct variation. Okay, so 9 over 27, 15 over 45, 18 over 54. Oh, gives me 1/3. Ding, ding, ding. I got a yes. K is equal to 1/3. And that's the equation y equals 1/3 x, which are the answers to my 3 questions. And that completes 9.1, Swyk 1. Talk to you later. Okay. Got a dad joke for you. Let's see here. Did you hear about the lazy baker who asked for a pay increase? He really needed the dough. My friend's bakery burned down last night. His business is toast. The local caricature artist got arrested. He did always seem to be sketchy. What do you call a group of security guards in front of the Samsung store? Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, that's enough for this Swyk.